The following is a podcast from a qualified senior care provider heard on the Answers for Elders radio show.
And welcome back, everyone, to Answers for Elders Radio Network. And we are here with Aaron Murphy, who is an amazing aging in place expert, architect, and leader in the industry for universal design and aging in place for as you age. And take a look, first of all, as I encourage each and every one of you to take a look at where you live. If you're over 55 and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, do I want to stay in my home as I age? Could you get through a doorway? Could you get through, into a bathroom if you were in a wheelchair and you couldn't turn around? There's a lot of things. Could you climb into a bathtub that's slippery? Do you have proper hand grabs, handrails, things like that? There's all types of things. Could your home adapt to you? And I think that's one of the things that we're talking to Aaron about this hour is, yes, it is possible to adapt to homes, but even more so, there's a great opportunity for if you're in remodeling, if you're an architect, you're any sort of in the design industry, anything like that, there's a wonderful career that opportunity for you as well. And so, Aaron, I am so honored to have you here because the work you do is so important. We talk way too much about the far side of, my gosh, things are bad and now you have to do assisted living or Alzheimer's and all those things. And I love that there's care for those that need it. But there's seniors like me. There's seniors that are out there that are perfectly independent, but they're looking at perhaps, maybe a couple of things that they look forward to, but they want to stay in their homes. And it's not necessarily a financial reason. It's an emotional reason. That's where the memories are. That's where they raise their children, perhaps. This is where they bring their grandchildren. They love still cooking that family meal. They want to have that connection with their families, with the family home. And so, Aaron, this is what I believe is why this is so important and why you're here. What else could you add to that?
Yeah, for me, your question about, why is this so important? Why is this so valuable right now? We talked about it earlier, right? The silver tsunami is here. Yeah. Everything globally. It's true globally.
It's true.
We will be older as a country, pick a country, okay, in 2040 than we've ever been in the history of the world. One great place to go pay attention early is Japan. They are 15 years older per capita than we are. So when I went to the International Home Show in 2014 to shoot a TV show about it, I really noticed that they're ahead on R&D and product and thinking about trying to solve solution-based home and body adaptation things. Now, the question is, lots of R&D and individual product things get, financed by investors and whatever, startups. And who's quarterback? Who's bringing the silos together? Who is your at-home concierge? That's what we do. That's what an architect always does, is kind of drives the bus and does the choreographing and the stage and the lighting and the marionette puppeteering and right. So having a person, again, one-stop shopping. Where do you go that you can trust that everyone they bring on the team is going to help us out?
Well, and that's the thing. I think that when you're sitting there looking at your own life, I mean, even having, I talk to my husband a lot about, are we going to stay here? He says, we're never moving. Well, you know what? Then if we're never moving, these things need to change someday, so it's finding a way to live in an environment that supports you and having an environment that nurtures you. And it's not only in the house, but it's outside the house. It's, can you walk, out on a deck without slipping and falling? What are the different things that go on? There's all different types of things that you may not even think about that may affect you. And I think that's going to be some, issues, as we don't necessarily look for it. Aaron, I've always known you as kind of you've always been a big thinker. You've always been somebody that has been a trailblazer in many ways. You and I have talked about that from, probably 10 years ago, where we both had a vision and we kind of went our own directions. And it's kind of interesting to see how you've evolved in your world. And it's just kind of appropriate that we come together again. And I'm very excited to learn a little bit more about your vision for ForeverHome.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So if you go on our site, what you're going to find is that the vision for ForeverHome is kind of a three-legged stool. Okay. And so one of those legs is that, if you want us to come speak at your industry or your retreat or your corporate affiliate, whatever, and have this discussion with your company or the members of NAHB or American Society on Aging, that's one leg. Leg two, as we talked about in the middle segment, is really about this opportunity for the business owner. And that I need to go train the trainer nationally, because it's the only way I can help more people is to help more people, right? It's the only way that I can have my vision in Atlanta or DC or, and then the third leg, which we haven't talked as much about, clearly, I mean, I've been doing this for 13 plus years as an architect. So we have hundreds of home designs that are specifically aging in place. Everyone that comes into our office, whether they came because they know that's what we do, because we own that niche locally, or whether they came and pretty much everybody that comes to an architect is already 40. Okay. Right. The spec builders building first and second time homes and getting lots of things wrong. That's a whole other discussion about why housing is broken as a national housing stock, but 40 plus persons coming to an architect, right? So it might be their last home, period. So we talk about it with everybody.
Sure.
Okay. And so at the end, at some level, we've incorporated the idea, hey, if you're going to live here 30 years, can we talk about a few things that matter?
Right.
And so the third leg of our stool will be that we are going to be, because there isn't a good one, the largest national database of aging in place and universal design stock plans in the US.
Yeah. And, that's so important, because how many times we think about building a home and we don't think about little things like curbless showers or certainly the ability to get in and out of a front door without having to go through stairs. There's so many things that we may not need today, but if I've always thought, I've heard somewhere, is this accurate, that whenever you buy a house, you should think about your life for the next 10 years when you do so?
Yeah, the average buying cycle is 7, but most people that start a home project after 40 start thinking that I don't want to do this again.
Right. Right. So it could be a lifetime situation. So you have to think about that. So even though you don't need it today, it doesn't mean that it couldn't happen in the future.
And we're not turning houses into hospitals.
Not at all.
They're beautiful products, and good design disappears, you guys. Yeah. I'm going to put in a soap dispenser. You're not going to know it's a grab bar. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's where the product level is way ahead. It's about how who knows where all the products are, how to find them, how to source them. Right. That's why you come somewhere for one-stop shopping. And
I also know of things that, there's also things you can purchase, for your home. Like there's a story, and I believe it's some sort of a thing that was built into somebody's floor, that if they fell and if, there was a crash or whatever, and for a period of time, and it could sense body heat or whatever it is, that it automatically dial the person's, son or daughter or whatever that they've fallen. Yeah, there's so many things that can happen and right now in a home, that all you need is like a smart panel or something like that you can program it to do whatever you need it to do these days. And that's the beauty of where we are with technology and with all different types of opportunities. And certainly for somebody like you to kind of carry that forward. So, obviously, I would love to find out a little bit more. If somebody's interested and they want to reach out to you, what can they expect when they reach out to you?
care,
Yeah.
empathy,
Yeah.
active listening.
Uh-huh.
That's how I got where I got, right? I mean, that's why we're here, is that's how I've learned to build a business, and that's what we're going to teach. But that's what you'd get if you got a hold of me as a consumer.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the things that I'd like to offer, if it's okay to do so,
absolutely,
folks, with you, if you email me, Aaron, AARON, at ForeverHome-US.com. If you say that you heard me on Answers for Elders during February, I'm going to offer you, number one, a free home evaluation checklist. And then depending on whether you're getting a hold of me as a consumer or a business owner, if you get a hold of me and you're a consumer looking for a longevity plan house design, I'm going to give you a 50% off on the first house design. That's an over $1,000 savings.
That's amazing.
If you're a business owner and you're interested in this coursework that goes way beyond any other class you've taken and teaches you to become an expert in your local community doing what we do, I will go ahead and give you 50% off on your first teaching module, which is also $1,000 offer.
Awesome. Aaron, thank you so much for being on the show with us this week. And we're so excited to have you. And for each and every one of you, please go to Aaron's site. That is www.foreverhome-us.com, right? .com?
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that was .com. Aaron, thanks so much.
Oh, blessing.
And for each and every one of you, again, Aaron's site is foreverhome-us.com. And I'll be right back right after this.
Time to get back to Suzanne and more Answers for Elders.
I would like to thank again Aaron Murphy from ADM Architecture and ForeverHome-us.com. Please check out his site. If you're over 55, it's an important time for you to check about your future. And certainly Aaron is somebody that you can sit down and talk to. In the meantime, also, I want to let each and every one of you that Answers for Elders is going into U.S. syndication. So we are going on a national platform. Those markets that we're going to will be mentioned soon. And we're also part of the Senior Resource Network. So I'm going to end today with a story. And it's an important story. I had a beloved aunt who used to school me as a child on diamonds in life that would be polished in my character through the challenges that present themselves. That mindset was also invaluable to me in caregiving as I dealt with the day-to-day care of my mom. And looking back, I discovered that the hard days were oftentimes when Mom and I had the best moments, because I realized more and more that every moment caring for my mother was also a diamond, a gift for my own personal growth and character. If you're a caregiver, find those jewels that present themselves. These challenges can make you a better person. And take 10 minutes at the end of each day to reflect on your day and ask yourself questions like, what was the most valuable thing that happened for me yesterday? What am I most grateful for? And what am I most happy about in my life? How can I use these experiences in my own growth in the future of my life? What have I learned? What were the shining moments? Have you become more patient, learned new communication styles, or found a voice to speak up? Did you discover talents you didn't know you had? Or did you meet a new friend or receive help from an unexpected source? Celebrate your own personal milestones. Journal about them as writing is your style. The diamonds in caregiving, they are there. They lie within your soul and will shine brightly if you allow them to. Until next week, everyone, be good to each other. We at Answers for Elders thank you for listening. Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making.
Find us at answersforelders.com.